Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we've got a map from a newish creator, a creator that's just uploaded a few maps to the workshop very recently. This one for me was more interesting than the others. They were all very different from each other, and it was very tempting to go with like a slightly deserty type map, but something which is a strong harbour map that is good for a vanilla player. Well, there aren't that many of those knocking around in the workshop that jump to mind anyway. So if you're playing with a potato and you would like to have a good city build on a fairly straightforward map, think this is a very good place to start looking. But before we do any looking, I've got some clicking for you to do. Off you go. That's right, hitting that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Aisi Harbour by EDH0904. I'm sure that's relevant to something, probably born on the 9th of April. Maybe we find out, maybe we don't. There's your start square, just a hint of the highway in there and a slightly interesting shape to work with, just slightly. There's your terrain heights. It looks like it's a very flat map, but there are some hills. As you work into the map, you'll find hills. Resources are fairly strong where we have resources. There's no ore though, there's no ore. And if you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, well, it's a kind of bit boring for that as well. But let's not worry about that. It's not always about the fishing, is it? What do you mean it is? It's not. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's 100% vanilla. We'll be using the vanilla tropical theme and the realistic 1.2 LUT. And also shout out to me and Samba and $2.20 and Prez and Flux and a couple of people I've never heard of that I really do need to check out. But yes, do check them all out. Especially that guy at the top, because apparently he's legendary. I read it once in the comments, so I'm just quoting, okay? I'm just quoting. I would never say that about, well, I would, I just did. Okay, down to ground level. The map is fairly plain. It's not over detailed. It leaves you plenty of room for extra detailing yourself. There's not really too much wrong with it in terms of allowing you inspiration to build your own city build on here. I would say this map does that. In fact, I would say it ticks a lot of boxes that some other more detailed, more complicated maps don't. I'm not saying that this is better than more complicated technical maps, but it certainly has some things going for it. Slight little bit of tree clipping through the side and the underneath of the bridge there, but not too bad. The bridge, it's fine. It's meh. It's fine. It's okay. Okay. Come down intersections. Oh, hang on, we've got some non-aligned. We come down here, see the bridge section ends there, but the other one goes on a little bit further. They should be aligned, so again, very easy to fix that with a single update click. Intersections are pretty slick, very clean, got some nice curves, no horrible ramps on them. I think there's something to be said. Something also to be said for this up ramp that then goes straight back down again. Maybe that should have been kept down at ground level. Maybe it shouldn't. Maybe we get out of bed in the morning. Maybe we stay in bed all day. Doesn't really matter, does it? And plenty of build space. As you can see in front of us, we have a hill. While the map looks like it's going to be completely flat, there are some hills. There are not too many, and they're not stupidly steep. So I don't think it's going to really affect your gameplay, but you can work with them just to sort of like change the shape of your city just a little bit. Save having just one big old grid. Here's your start square intersection. This little tail down here is what goes into the start square, so that's where you'll be working from. The two roads are very close together. I will get to that in a moment. Let's have a quick look at the shrubbery. Shrubbery is very nice. Not often you see vanilla detailing with tropical shrubs, but there we do. But yes, those two highways, they are right next to each other. So while this is a vanilla map, you're probably going to want to have Move It or Fine Road Anarchy enabled to be able to start building from there, because otherwise you're just not going to be able to get hold of either of those nodes. So just a little heads up for those of you that are playing 100% vanilla. I would say play this 100% vanilla. I would always say if you've got a PC, get Move It above anything else. Just get Move It. It'll just change the way that you play the game, while you can still play the game under vanilla rules. And I think that suits for everybody. Everybody should be happy. Anyway, edge of the map now. That's your rail, and we'll come back after this.
Have you never quite worked out how to use Ploppable Rico? And what the heck is Ploppable Rico anyway? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Ploppable Rico by BonBonB. Click the information button below.
And back to the shipping routes, and I like these. Okay, they split. You get the short route, which goes out at sea, so you can see passing ships. And then you get a route that comes closer into the land, which means that ships that want to get to the harbour will be coming in from slightly closer. I kind of like the way that it's been done, and certainly would work. So that's bigging up the shipping routes. And then I'm going to stab it in the side of the head with a stabby thing. Stabby, stabby, stab, stab. We've got all these harbour cutouts. Be nice to actually have ships going into these harbours, wouldn't it? But the shipping routes do not allow access to most of these pre-cut areas. So yes, I would like to have seen that. Water flow, this is your water's edge. We've got a little bit of edge of map water pushing in, not much in the way of water flow there. It's not a complete disaster though. I've not tested it. I think this would work, but if you do your water pumping from this corner here, where there is a water spawn point, a light one in there, I think you're probably going to be okay. So I've not tested it, but it certainly looks like it would probably work. So on the map as a whole, you'll be building in probably from this direction, especially if you're playing 100% vanilla, you will be building in from this direction. We've just got the lines of terrain on, so you can actually see the hills now. And we've got, just this big old mound here. It's kind of, it lacks interest as shapes of a hill, as hills go. And the tree painting on it breaks up the hill, but it doesn't really make a huge amount of sense with the shape of the hill either. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't make huge amounts of sense, but does it really need to? Does it make no sense? Well, it doesn't do that either. It's fine. It's right down the middle of your 3-star territory. Nothing to complain about. We do have a highway that comes in from this side, but you're going to need all of the mods, all of the mods to get hold of the highway from there and start building in. So yeah, if you're playing vanilla, ignore that one. Does not exist. Let's find something to talk about. Let's talk about the trees. We have all these palm trees that are quite happy growing out of the very dry sand up here. But it seems that nothing likes to grow within a few yards of the river. I would have thought it'd be a little bit the other way around. So consistency along the rivers would make all of the sense, wouldn't it? But if you have a look up here, there is actually a patch of river where the trees grow right up to the edge of the river. I'm not going to show you because it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Okay? Head back down the other way, back towards the harbour area. It's all about the shape of the harbour. I think the shapes of the harbour, if you're placing your harbours along the outside of these harbour areas, it'll look pretty cool and it should work quite well. Interesting shapes, and again we've got a lot of fertile land over here to work with. We'll point this one out. We have some fencing, and so whatever is down here, kind of, you've got, you need a pass to get into this area. I don't know, why not? That's fine. There you go. Maybe it's the border. Then we have an intersection here. And if you have a look over here, the fence on this side just encroaches onto the concrete a little bit, but not actually into the actual road itself. So some of you are going to say that's absolutely brilliant, and some of you are going to go, nope, that's encroaching. I'm going to say, I don't care. Either way, it's fine. On this map, doesn't matter. Back to the start square, where we have an asset of the day by one of my favourites. I want to say one of my favourites. I've used their buildings in Duveau, and I'm using their theme in Bonbon Island, the map I'm currently working on at the moment. And I'm very tempted to use these rocks, the VC Rock Outcrops by VecchioChristo. VecchioChristo possibly, but Vecchio is how I go by it. And yeah, these are great. You can use these in the water just for like bits of waterfall. If you've got procedural objects mod, they're resized nicely because they're quite large. Beautiful. Factoids while we're here. Factoids because factoids. The largest carnivorous mammal in the world, apparently, is the Alaskan brown bear. I did not know that. I'd assumed that the polar bear was larger. But maybe that's all, or maybe that's just down to all that hair. Could be just all the fur, for goodness sake. The VC Rock Outcrops by VecchioChristo. VecchioChristo. Today's little pack of assets of the day. I love them all. The question is, do I use them in Bonbon Island? Do I need any rocks in Bonbon Island? Should be a few weeks and you'll all be playing on Bonbon Island. Right, okay, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We'll use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right corner of your screen. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Patreon or an Apple account. There's even a link in the description. Okay, so today's map aesthetically, right, let's say it's not beautiful, is it? It's not highly finished or anything like that, but it's a strong design. It's a strong design, and for that you get some score. And it's not unattractive, so you're not really losing much score either. I'm going to go 3 stars, but it has to be towards the bottom end of 3. Detailing. There's not too much to talk about, really, is there? What there is okay, it's fine, and the intersections are quite polished. So I think we can go, let's go down the middle 3, why not? Gameplay potential. Do you know what? For what it's intended for, this is pretty strong. Yes, I feel we could use better water flow, and yes, I'd like to see better access into the harbours. That would get 4 stars. For me, I'm going to go for a medium-high 3. Aisi Harbour by EDH0904. I'm really glad we had a look at this one. May have a look at one of their other ones at some point because they're all fairly light. They're all for the vanilla player, and do you know what? We don't do enough maps for the vanilla player with the potato computer. So every now and then it's just really good to dip in and have a look. And clearly EDH does know how to build a very solid vanilla base map. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. Don't let me tell you what to do, but you should be using the word of the day into the comments at I'm just going to give up now. To prove you are of the 20 and out elite. I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. Have a great day.